Naya. I just finished off watching this video, and it was a young lady in her 20s. She was talking about, she's never been on a date and she's never been married. And straight away in the comments, you have all these commenters saying things like, oh, you're, avoidant attachment, this and that, talking about the different types of causes of why she's not found a partner. Now, I know a person who is older than her and has the same situation. So they look very decent. They look like a very well-to-do person, clean, attractive, intelligent, educated, successful in their career. Yet they're not able to find someone to start a family with. Have not been able to go on a number of dates. Now, the person I'm talking about that I know is a narcopath. Now, a lot of narcopaths will, really fight over things that give the image of appearing to be a certain way, to appearing to be good. Now, I'm not saying this is her case. It may well not be her case. She may be telling the truth. The commenters from watching a 10-second clip may have got it correct. But my understanding, my experience tells me you cannot give your correct take on something without knowing all the facts, without knowing all the information, and that video is not enough evidence in my view, because the person I know who hasn't had many dates, hasn't had a boyfriend, they score high in disagreeableness, yeah, and are highly argumentative. So if you upset them, they tend to go into a tirade, and the abuse usually gets personal. So they're not someone with high emotional intelligence, and they're not someone who are able to disagree with someone in a way that's not offensive and not personal, which I think is something that we all need to be better at. As a mature adult, you have to learn to disagree with someone when you don't share their viewpoint, and if you have an opposing viewpoint, you're able to get your point across to them without arguing. You can be civil without it turning into a shouting contest. You're able to get your points across, listen to their points as well, and consider their viewpoint. And if maybe you could even go back and research their viewpoint, and if there's more adequate information to what they said that supports them, you can actually still change your mind on what you said, and not allow your ego to be so set in stone into what you believe. Now, I wanted to make this video because this is quite a big thing. We also saw that with the lady from the Bachelorette program who was DV with her partner about these narcopaths. I spoke about the other day about narcopaths having everything perfect, yet they neglect one small part of their puzzle in terms of their appearance. That's something. When I was watching back that video, I also remember the man I used to call the head narcopath that I worked with, Freudian slip. But he was someone who, he always had to be in charge. He always gave me orders. Everything had to be done his way. And he had this thing where he would come up close to you to give the instructions of the work, technical work. And this man's breath was rotten. The worst breath I've come across in a human being. Literally rotten eggshells, rotten fish. It was just a really disgusting breath, and it's very hard to understand. This person has he had a long-term girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure nobody are brave enough to tell him that he's suffering from some kind of halitosis, some sort of bacteria infection in his mouth. He probably wouldn't accept it anyway. He's very hard-headed. But yeah, the point I wanted to try to get across from making this is a lot of these characters, a good bit of them who appear to be very well put together, clean, attractive, smart, yet they're suffering from dispossession. They're suffering from this pathology, this cluster B personality disorders. Yet on the outside, you won't be able to tell. I mean, in the spiritual realm, you are looking at something, the most ugly creature with a tail. Literally, like you see in a horror movie, in a thriller movie. That is what they look like in the spiritual realm. These people on the outside, they will literally give you a uncurable STI, sexually demonic infection. They will actually transfer their possession onto you, their fear onto you, their anxiety onto you. All of their brokenness will be transferred into your vessel. These people are the ones who give people, as I said before, illnesses that cannot be cured. So there you are, guys. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but remember that beauty is something that needs to be from within, especially first. This is something I've learned as I get older. Obviously, guys, we're very visual people. We like to look at things. We like to look at beauty. There's a lot of value in beauty, but we have to be very, very aware of women that are beautiful inside and out, and we have to look for signs, very small behavioral patterns that are able to make us make the right choices, so we don't end up spending our lives or having children with these cretins, with these women who are fighting a daily battle with their own demons, with their own darkness. With that in mind, keep moving forward in a positive way.